So I don't know what's more ridiculous, the fact that United Nations still exists, or the fact that the United Nations is talking about something that has literally no effect on the current climate of human problems in the world today. Absolutely none whatsoever. This is not surprising. I mean, this is the fucking United Nations we're talking about. This is the same United Nations that was originally the League of Nations, which was created after World War I to bring about peace in the world. And then that shit led to World War II. So in the grand scheme of things, the League of Nations failed to begin with. But anyways, that's besides the point. We're talking about the updated United Nations. This is a very important asset to humanity right now, and we need to talk about what is on their mind. What is affecting people on a day-to-day basis? How can we get rid of the poverty, high mortality rates, diseases across the world? Well, we can target anime and manga. What an awesome idea, guys! For those who are like, Double 4 anime, what are you fucking talking about? Let me read this article for you guys. The United Nations has rekindled the debate about sexualized images of children in Japanese manga art after its special envoy on child protection, Moa Deboa Bukicho, called for the East Asian country to ban certain graphic content in anime. I always notice it's like old people from the West complaining about things in Eastern culture. And that's not a problem, right? Everybody in the West should complain about things that are wrong with the world, because the West is clearly ahead in human development and understanding the human condition versus the Eastern world. This is very true. The whole world knows it. There's no hiding that shit. But when we talk about the Western world, complaining about things in the Eastern world that have zero relevance to the global problem and the issues around the world, to where there are more significant problems in the more developed Western world, then we have a fucking problem. Like, what are you doing? What are you smoking, United Nations? Y'all are on some bullshit. Fuck ISIS killing innocent people in the Middle East, or African kids eating each other at a young age because they got no fucking food. Or how about let's add Saudi Arabia to the Council of the United Nations, even though they fucking treat their people like fucking garbage. They treat women like second-class citizens with no rights. They execute gay people. They have Sharia law in their system, which is against every single modern ideology in place today in Western society. And y'all dumbasses are gonna add this underdeveloped garbage-ass country into the council, but then you're gonna complain about Japan's fucking culture where they don't display child pornography. It's just that it happens to be that their artwork looks youthful, but we don't have any problems in America or in Europe, right? No, fuck the immigration problem in Europe where Europeans don't have housing and jobs and shit, and you're gonna bring in this mass influx of refugees who we don't even check. Like, why do you think incidents like Charlie Hebdo happen? Because we don't check this shit correctly. Like, my personal opinion is that every refugee coming from the Middle East should sign a survey or like go through a bunch of questions regarding what their views are on modern Western civilization, and if that shit don't match, leave them there. But we're not focusing on real issues like that, or the gun problems in the United States where we have so many hundreds of thousands of people have died from guns in like the last decade or so, and we're complaining about child depictions versus actual human life. United Nations is a failure just because they're supposed to keep peace and stability in the world, and yet they're complaining about the most fucking irrelevant bullshit. Do you want to know something about our gun laws in America? We have more deaths in this country than almost every single Eastern Asian country put together in terms of guns, and we're supposed to be more civilized. We're supposed to be a better, fucking more caring country, but we have more gun deaths than Japan, who has some of the lowest mortality rate in the world. And why? Because they have some of the most draconian gun laws in the world. They have some of the highest life expectancy in the world. They have some of the lesser child abuse and pedophilia scandals in the entire world. And we're complaining about depictions, about artwork, about a culture that y'all don't understand. I am not here advocating for people drawing children in sexual positions or some shit like that. That's not what I'm fucking talking about. But this is not where these people are going when they complain about this shit, because the Japanese government has already made a statement that they are doing their best to counter and fight child pornography. But y'all want to take it a step further. Y'all want to actually infringe on freedom of speech. Then this old 70-year-old lady from the Netherlands tries to cop herself out at the end like, oh, well, I'm a protector of freedom of speech when it comes to adult pornography, but when it comes to child, bitch, it's not child pornography, it's drawings. What don't you understand about that? It does no harm to anybody. They say that this leads to more child abuse, but if that was the fucking case, if this led to more pedophilia, there would be higher pedophilia rates in fucking Japan than in the rest of the world. But guess what? That shit's not happening, and there's over 100 million people on this small island. It's all condensed up, and they have the less crime in the world. Y'all want to find one detail to complain about something and potentially fuck over a large group of people who love and enjoy anime and manga and who live off of this medium. Like, you don't understand how much this helps people on a day-to-day basis. When it comes to particular extreme child pornographic content, manga should be banned, adding it was important to find the right balance. You see, I agree with that. When it comes to extreme child pornographic content that actually shows minors in a light that they could be harmed, I 100% agree with you. But guess what? That is not your agenda here. That is not your goal here. Y'all want to use this as a fighting tool to attack other things. Because why? Because the Japanese government has already fucking made it clear that they're doing their best to counter this shit, and y'all keep on bringing this up years later. There's no reason for you to do that. There is way more important issues at hand, like Syrians trying to get out of their country because they're being bombed from fucking Russia. There's ISIS there. There's fucking troops there. Nobody has their backs. And y'all are complaining about drawings. There's actually been quite a few articles of raids on people's houses. They find child pornography, including manga depictions of children in a bad light, and they confiscate that shit. Not only do they do that, but they find the people. So if you're talking about the internet, the thing that you can't actually monitor, people are going to do whatever they want. And drawing shit, while I don't agree with it, like, I don't fucking like people who draw child pornography. Like, it's not something that I'm really for. To give you guys another point of view, a manga translator said there is no such thing as manga and anime child pornography. Child pornography entails the involvement of children, and we must confront it for that reason. Blah 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 meant sexualized depictions of childish-looking characters in manga and anime. Many male and female artists in Japan draw characters in an art style that looks childish in Western eyes. Therefore, it is a rejection of an art style popular in Japan. So there we go. Their agenda is something completely fucking different. Honestly, like, I never told people this, but I'm really good friends with Hiro Mashima. I actually talked to the guy on Skype quite a few times, and he told me straight up, like, he's tired of the Japanese government raiding his place. He's tired of them going into his bathroom when he's busting a nut to his own drawings. Leave the man alone. He don't want nothing to do with you guys. If I draw some shit like this, I should be able to fap to it.